Oh, the magpie brings us tidings of news both fair and foul. She's more cunning than the raven, more wise than any owl.
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I wanted to be sincere, so I've just kind of sat down and hit record, and that's it. I'm just going to put it out mostly raw. Apparently, I've heard from reliable sources, James Carpio has died. You may not know who he was, but I knew who he was. I would count him as a friend. What you count as a friend, I guess, is a bit blurred these days with the internet and knowing people scattered all over the world, but he's just a guy in the role-playing industry who was kind of always there, and now he's not going to be, and that leaves a weird shaped hole in everything. He did write a few things. He did a lot of sort of supporting media, GrindHaus media he was involved in, HAUS, GrindHaus, alternative play, podcast, Show Us Your Crits he was on. By all accounts, he was around in the con scene in the States quite a lot, so a lot of people know him. A lot of people in gaming these days are quite divisive figures, yours truly included, but James wasn't. I don't think I ever met anyone who had anything bad to say about him. Because I was always kind of a little bit jealous of that. Yeah, it's nice to be liked and treated and considered well, especially given that so many of our interests kind of coexisted and went together. You know, people make a lot of fun of how perverted the role-playing community is or has become, but it's all very surface level. You know, look at me, aren't I fun sort of stuff, with the cosplay and everything else. But me and James shared things other than a first name. We shared a real interest in the intersection of games and nerd culture and sexuality, and particularly kink, which again he explored in the Alternative Play podcast. We would talk quite regularly about these sorts of things and share ideas, and he liked my work on Tales of Gore and various other things. He was a supporter of what we were doing on Tabletopless, and the kind of open out old school kinky D&D community isn't as big as you might think. There's not that many of us at all. So yeah, I will miss him. And it feels weird these days when you lose someone that you've only ever really known online, even though you've done work together and talked for years. You don't quite know how to feel, but people are people. The people on the other end of the screen are real people, and you enjoy their company while they're here, and you feel the pain or something wrong, at least, when they're absent. But yeah, I will miss him a great deal. So I don't have that many people who share my weird intersections of interests, and he was one. And he also loved schlock the same way that I do, and still regarded it as art. So I will I will miss my friend and colleague a great deal.
The priest he says we're wicked, but to worship the devil's bird. But we respect the old ways and we disregard his word. For we know they rest uneasy as we slumber in the night, and we'll always leave out a little bit of meat for the bird that's black and white. One's for sorrow, two's for joy.